Games, Brains A Banging Life, and welcome to an episode of the Nasties. However, not the usual Nasties. We are not covering a specific movie here. This is just a short recap because we have now completed 1/4 of the 72. We have done 18 episodes, 18 films to date. So we thought we'd take this time to just briefly relook at what we've covered so far and sort of see if our opinions have changed on certain movies based upon how later ones have been, so to speak, I guess. Yeah, 18 episodes so far. Plenty more to go. This is going to be a long-running series, and we do have a lot of doozies to come in the Nasties, you know. Some of the lesser-known ones, the rarer ones, particularly in the UK. There are several movies, many movies, I think over 10 at least, that are still banned in the UK. Wow. Very hard to find. And some that are, at least, still have cuts. So, we have them all here, stacked. You can just see the top of them here, of the 18 we've covered to date. We'll talk it through, so to speak. We're not recapping the stories. Go watch the episode if you want to do that. So let's begin with the first one.
Bloody Moon.
Bloody Moon. So, of course, this was a slasher flick set at a Spanish language school, I believe it was. This is one of the earliest ones. And when I think back to them, I'm like, okay, let me think. What do I really remember? The only thing that really jumps out of mind is the buzzsaw scene and the horrible dummy that, you know, where it's clearly a dummy kind of thing. And obviously that was one of the nasty points. Yeah. But at the time, I gave it 3 out of 10 and you gave it 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't... Yeah, it wasn't...
We didn't love it.
No, we thought it was a bit bland, a bit meh, didn't we?
It's a slasher. There are many other more slashers. I don't think there's much to get excited about that.
No.
Then up next...
Zombie Flesh Eaters.
Obviously one of the most iconic zombie horrors, let alone nasties, out there. At the time, I gave it 9 out of 10. You give it 8.5 out of 10. I adore this. I've seen this movie absolutely loads. From that cool introduction, the music that they're doing, you know. The final shot of the zombies on the still moving Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh, because they couldn't get the thing,
Yes, to some of the violent, gory moments. It's got so many iconic moments. The shark fight. Yeah, the zombie shark fight.
The eyes.
Yeah, the splinter in the eyes. I stand by that 9 out of 10. This is an excellent. If there's one you do watch, it's Zombie Flesh Eaters.
It's like even just looking at the Blu-ray, it's just got a nice quality to it as well, like the artwork.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I'm happy with that one.
Yeah.
Then, this one's a memorable one.
Island of Death. It is very, very memorable for just being fucking crazy.
Messed up, yeah.
This is an absolute horror show of a movie with the most wacky music, downright offensive portrayal of gay people.
Oh, yeah.
To violent attack on a goat and buggery of a goat.
Oh, yeah.
The main couple are hilariously over the top, poorly acted, but just it's such an enjoyable movie to watch because it's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Yeah. There's so much sex in it, so much sexual violence in it.
It's grubby.
Yeah, it's very grubby, very dirty. Just not a nice film at all, but it really is memorable. We both gave it 6 out of 10
for that fact.
Yeah, I think I'd go a bit higher now. I think I'd say 7 just because of how memorable it is.
Yeah.
Like, I remember almost every beat of this movie. You know, the Greek island shots, the pictures, the pouring the paint down, the banging in the phone box while he calls the first clue that they're weird. Yeah. Where they want to bang in the phone box and he calls his mother. Guess what I'm doing, mother?
Oh, yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Next one, The Mountain of the Cannibal God.
Yes, under several different names. I can't remember what the other names are, but it's known as other things. One of the cannibal ones, it's one of those where it's like, hey, we're going to do cannibal shit. We want to be a bit sexy as well. So its main star is designed to be that. And you look at the cover of it. Yeah. It's very much that. There's not a lot really to say about this one. I gave it 6 out of 10 at the time and 5 out of 10. But truth be told, I'm struggling to remember quite a lot of this.
Yeah, I remember, because I can just remember her. I think she's pretty wooden in it, but she's just there because she looks pretty.
Yeah, I remember the kind of finale parts in the cave.
Yeah.
You know, more than anything else. But I don't remember a lot about it.
No, I really don't.
Which is not a good sign, I think. So maybe that 6 out of 10 was a little bit up.
Yeah, too much for that one. Next one is Evil Speak. Remember this one?
Yep.
Just because of the main character's so memorable, really. He's got a very kind of odd-looking face, if that's the right word. Not the right word. memorable face.
He's very memorable.
Yeah.
Man, that's why. We gave it 7 out of 10. We equaled it 7 out of 10. I really like this one because it's a lot of fun, really.
Yeah.
It's fun, it's silly at times. It's got a lot of the sort of simplistic tropes about a bullied character who ends up discovering Satanism. It tries to use sort of the technology at the time to create a sort of Satanist story, which is kind of cool. And of course, it has that ending with the pigs.
Yeah.
And the flying... what is it? Reese Cooper Smith? Cooper Smith is his name, isn't it? Yeah.
I remember asking about why it was in the Nasties, because obviously it felt a bit more cheesy. Certain parts of it felt a bit more cheesy.
It's pigs eating people's flesh.
Yeah, so
it's simple as that.
That would put it in there. But yeah, I remember that being quite good fun.
Absolutely.
So would we go for them to score?
We both gave it 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
I think it's a fair score. Yeah.
Definitely.
You can say it, I'm not.
Anthropophagus.
We both give it 6 out of 10 at the time, and it's really interesting to look at this now, considering we've also done Absurd later on.
The cover's amazing. Love the cover.
In fact, find Absurd now, find Absurd in the palm, we'll do them together. Because they're Absurd, if you don't know, is effectively a spiritual sequel to this movie, starring the same guy, George, what's his name? George, is that written on the back?
George Eastman.
George Eastman. In Anthropophagus, he's got more makeup and stuff like that as the monster on the island.
So.
In Absurd, he's got a more normal face. He's still a monster, but one of experimental versions. So we give it Anthropophagus. Both of us gave it 6 out of 10. And with Absurd, I gave Absurd 6 out of 10, and you gave it 5 out of 10. On reflection, which do you think's the better movie?
So I'm struggling to remember most Anthropophagus.
The answer is Anthropophagus.
It's the island one, but yeah, he's like a mentalist. Yeah, I think it makes more use of his stature and his size. I think this one.
Cool. I think because it's got more of a memorable scene, which is the reason, one of the nasty reasons it exists, which is the pulling the womb out of the woman via her vaginal canal.
Oh yes, which is that scream back.
Even describing it is like, yes, that actually fucking happens.
Because I think that's what they're alluding to on the front cover about where it's come from, but that's probably what he's having for lunch there.
Whereas Absurd doesn't quite have the same ring to it. You know, you think of the oven death, you think of the beheading part at the end. These aren't as memorable, so to speak, I think.
Yeah.
But they're both decent movies. I think they're both decent movies. I think they were good episodes. Absolutely.
Yeah, still enjoyed that one.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
It's SS Experiment Camp.
God.
It is one of the easier to get Nazi exploitation horrors of the Nasties. There are stuff that is much harder to get. And the reason why it's easy to get is because it's pretty fucking tame.
Yeah.
Aside from the Nazi shit. If you want lots of softcore porn, this is for you. Yeah. You'll get lots of rubbish softcore porn, as a load of women are basically experimented on to have sex with loads of Nazis, and two fall in love, and there's occasional killing. Someone dies by being frozen in a frosty fucking pool. The graphic part comes from the woman that's hung upside down on a cross. Yeah. Which was, I think, its original cover. In fact, no, it's not there, but it might be under reversible. Yeah, it's on the reversible sleeve. Yeah, the reversible sleeve on that thing. But we gave this... Wow. I gave it 5 out of 10. You gave it 6 out of 10.
I think it was the fact that it was a bit more... I think the fact that it was tame and...
But had a story?
Had a story to it. There were some good lines in it. I think one guy explains, what have you done with my balls?
Oh, of course, yeah, because that's right. The fucking main Nazi guy is looking for, oh God almighty, he's looking for a penis transplant. Yeah, because he had his penis bitten off by a woman in a village his Nazi team attacked, and he got his penis bit off, so he's looking for a virulent German man to take his penis. Oh my God! Amazing.
The joy.
Yeah, amazing.
Christ. The Witch Who Came from the Sea.
Weird. Very, very weird. It's got impressive acting, but it's so fucking strange about whether or not the events are real or not. It's basically a woman who's obsessed with a TV character. Descent into madness, really. It's very, very unusual. It implies some sort of sinister past issues in regards to, well, certainly that she was abused by her father. Yeah. And that she holds him up in high regard.
Yeah, that was quite uncomfortable scene.
Yeah. But I gave this 4 out of 10. You give it 5 out of 10.
I don't know what I liked about it more than you, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was a memorable one. What a great one. Oh yeah, Blood Feast.
An early Splatterfest, often deemed as one of the earliest Splatterfests from Herschel Gordon Lewis. It's fun,
Yeah.
but it's not a good movie.
No.
Let's get that clear right away. The acting is horrendous. What's his name? He's got an Egyptian name, the main guy.
Fuad Ramses.
That's it, Ramses is hilariously bad. The gore effects are bad. The ending is so dragged out and silly. And that whole blood feast that you're waiting for, you never get that
never
payoff.
happens, yeah.
Unfortunately, you never get that payoff.
Authentic Egyptian feast.
It's enjoyable, but I gave it it's fun in the sense that it's just of a time.
Yeah.
But I gave it 3 out of 10. You gave it 4 out of 10.
Yeah. Next one is The Burning.
Like this one.
Oh, we liked this one, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah,
The campside one where the
burnt man comes back for revenge on the camp counsellors who was a kid who burnt him when he was younger by accident. Got some incredibly graphic scenes. It's got some damn stars in it. People that would appear in later things like Frasier and stuff like that.
Yes.
Some real stars in it as youngsters, and it ain't as young adults. And it ain't ashamed to kill people off. There's a great scene where it's just a slaughter of people on a particular boat. It's very violent, it's very cool looking. It ends in quite a spectacular way with a flamethrower. It's a good movie. We gave it 7 out of 10, and I think that holds up.
Definitely. I've had the thing I like most about these is when they're not dubbed and stuff, because that if you don't notice it that much, you're fine. As soon as you start noticing dubbing being slightly off, it's automatically more of a hard slog. But for these ones, to say a bit more budget, you're like, I can actually watch the cheese and get into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Cool.
Cover's cool on that one as well. Next one is Madhouse.
The crazy sister who's got a skin disease in the hospital and then escapes and torments her current sister with killing people around her house, her new house. It's so boring and so bland up until its last 15 minutes where the real villain reveals his hand and has a fucking blast. Yeah. Which is the uncle / priest.
The birthday party.
The birthday party scene. It's so that last 50 minutes. Yeah. This would be a 2 to 3 out of 10. That redeemed it, and I gave it a 6, and you gave it a 5. But the over the top silliness of that last 15 minutes, it's just too much fun.
Frustrating because the characters were good in that. I mean, we said we praised the acting, so they said that they cared about each other, but you just wanted more. But yeah, the birthday party was definitely a standout scene.
That's what you remember. Yeah. You remember more
Definitely.
than anything else.
Next one is Contamination.
Right, you really hated this. You gave this 2 out of 10. I gave it 4 out of 10, and I gave it 4 out of 10 because it's got massive flaws. And this is to do with the alien eggs that are being transported in from a coffee plantation. And if the liquid of this egg gets on you, your body will erupt. Hilariously, the effects at the time show basically these, like if your chest was about to explode, you'd go from a thin person to then suddenly having this massive blown out chest as obviously the explosion, the apparatus, the packs really fill out their body. It looks very fucking stupid. And they were clearly very proud of it because each exploding chest bit is slow motion. Ends with that massive alien creature at the end in the basement of the coffee plantation that eats you, like draws you in, hypnotizes you and all that. I think this is, because it's of a time, I think it's fun. But it's flawed as hell.
Yeah, I can't remember much about this one.
We gave it 2 out of 10.
Yeah. Next one, House by the Cemetery.
An interesting movie. It would. Right, I gave it 6. You gave it 5. And the reason why I think we gave it such low scores is because of the loose ends, the plot points it creates, and then just abandons in a minute for nothing. Yeah. Like the one about the odd babysitter and things like that. Yeah. Very, very strange. But an enjoyable slasher, a famous slasher, so to speak. It's got some great violent moments. The knife through the back of the head, really violent assaults. Great amount of gore. Very, very strange movie. You know, the crying, the doctor lives in the basement. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one. That is flaws.
Brilliant.
This one I can't even. You liked this one, didn't you?
I gave this 8 out of 10. You gave it 4 out of 10. One of the biggest gulfs in class. This is, of course, the art house wacky ass possession film called Possession, starring Sam Neill as well. A young Sam Neill about a couple who are going through extreme marital difficulties and ends up resulting in an alien creature thing. It's fucking weird, but it's so transfixing. It is incredible. The acting is so over the top. God almighty, it's incredible. When it turns it up and you reveal the alien creature gets a bit nastier, there is that amazing fucking miscarriage scene.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I think maybe my points just came from that, because that was just like, wow.
So harsh to watch. Incredible.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the character's name, but the German guy in it, who just loves everything, and the fact that he would move like a dancer, I'm a big fan of this movie.
It's odd as fuck, but yeah, but at least
Memorable.
And its prose, was memorable.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Next one we have the Driller Killer.
Talking about memorable,
yeah, I really enjoyed
Abel
it.
Ferrara's work, star, and so on. I thoroughly enjoyed this one as well.
This is cool.
Yeah, it's just I really enjoyed the other. I enjoyed the other aspects more than the horror, which is the artist who's struggling, descent into madness, and goes on a killing spree.
That neo-punk band upstairs.
The neo-punk band that shares it. So much fun. Oh my goodness me.
They were good fun.
Yeah, just really, really unusual. Got a great ending. Got great bits of gore. Famous and nasty for the drilling into the head scene. I really, really enjoyed it. We gave it 7 out of 10.
I really enjoyed it. So it gave like New York. It felt real and grubby, and I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we come on to the Devil Hunter.
My lowest scored one, I gave it 2 out of 10, and you gave it 3 out of 10. This is a cannibal one where a woman is kidnapped and held hostage on an island, and a man goes to rescue her. And basically it's a beastie man who has this horrible makeup job on his eyes, and he basically kidnaps her and is planning to kill her, and she's rescued, and lots of weird shit happens. There's a ton of nudity.
Ton of racist
caricatures.
Yep. So everyone lives in the jungle is like
savage.
That's the word they would have used. It was just so dumb, and the way like some of the characters, like the guy hired a Vietnam vet to fly him to a jungle island and didn't expect any kind of like throwback from that.
It's a bad movie. It's a very bad movie.
There's nothing to save it.
It's got horrible dubbing, horrible effects, horrible fucking sound, bad music, unnecessarily violent moments like a rape scene that just is so fucking unnecessary.
Overly long. Ceremony scenes and the same sort of scenes, and like close-ups of
dancing,
close-ups of nips and arse and vag, everything.
Yep.
It's just like you just sigh when you see another like fanny up close again. I'm gonna put that on the tagline. But,
no.
Yeah. So, that was dog dirt. Didn't like that one.
And our latest one, our latest episode, Eaten Alive, which is the crocodile one. The crocodile that lives in the local bayou of this hotel where the crazy man sits. I gave it 5 out of 10. You gave it 3 out of 10, which I think's harsh.
I think it was trying to do too many angles, and it was just boring. Even Robert Englund couldn't save it.
Yeah, I think it's enjoyable. I think it's got an enjoyable performance by the lead actor as the crazy kind of local. He has got a habit of rambling and talking too much, which is fair enough. But he does the role well. I love Robert Englund, so he's great in this as well. But I'll always remember it for just some of the more wacky moments. Like the couple, when they reveal their weirdness.
Yeah, they are bizarre.
Very bizarre moments. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun movie. Certainly far from the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that, but just I wanted either a bit more of the crocodile or a bit more of him actually doing stuff rather than gibbering.
Okay, well, he's a gibberer. He is a gibberer. So, I mean, that's up to date what we've got. I'm trying to find where the list is of what we've still got to do, just to give you an idea of some of the ones we've still got to cover.
I think we've had quite a good mix. We don't watch too many in a row of the same one. We don't get burned out with Nazi exploitation or like zombie films, do we? So
no, I purposely wanted to kind of always vary it up and not do several nasties in a row, Nazi exploitation or cannibal ones in a row. So like there are some famous ones we still got to do. The Beast in Hate. That's one of the difficult ones to find in this country. Famously, we've still got to do Cannibal Holocaust. It's famous to have. I'm holding off on that one for a while. What else we got? Fight for Your Life. This is the one that I'm dreading doing because it is purely in there for racism, but it's also very hard to find. We will get it. Don't worry. We will get these movies, even if they're coming from America for the region and with a Region 1 player. And a lot of them aren't necessarily going to be Blu-rays. We're trying to keep this collection Blu-ray based, but simply the fact there are some that just aren't on Blu-ray. So we will end up with the DVDs for that. Gestapo's Last Orgy. There's another one that I'm looking forward to doing, but it's very, very hard to find. Famously, I Spit in Your Grave.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
And The Last House on the Left. Two of the more famous ones.
Yeah, I've never seen either of them.
So that would be quite cool. Snuff. Snuff's going to be an interesting one. What else we got? Lots of don't go in the house, don't go in near the park, don't look in the basement.
Sounds like right now, doesn't it?
One I'm interested to see, because I don't know it. I Miss You, Hugs and Kisses.
God.
Right?
Yeah.
Then we have some of the more famous ones as well, like Late Night Trains. Something I've seen when I was young, Killer Nun.
Oh, that sounds like that one.
And one that I'm really excited to go back and watch, because I saw it when I was younger, The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue.
That's not set in England, is it?
That is literally what it is.
I thought it was set in America.
No.
Well, there must be another horror film that's set somewhere, but I think it's in England, but it's in America.
Carcass' new EP is out on October 30th, and they have a track called The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue on it.
Sweet.
So it kind of really reminded me of it. The Toolbox Murders.
I think I've seen that one. Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
And one that I've never seen, but the name tells you everything you need to know about it.
God.
Women Behind Bars.
Oh.
We're gonna see a lot of edge. Yeah, yay. But yeah, that's our recap of what we've done to date. Just keep watching. Hope you're enjoying it. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?